Hello and welcome. Are you worried what is the current status of IT industry in India, especially after the long and difficult lockdown caused by the COVID-19 pandemic? If you are worried, then keep watching this video because in this video I'm going to reveal the current status of IT industry and tell you exactly what is the present and the future of IT industry in India, and this will help you make an important decision about whether you want to join this industry or do something else, especially after the COVID 19 pandemic. But before we move forward, if you are watching this channel for the first time, then my name is Amit Patel and you are watching Musings with Amit. Subscribe to this channel if you want to take your career in the IT industry from where it is today to an epic level of success, because on this channel I share ideas, insight, tools and tactics to grow your career 2 times to 4 times faster than you think possible. So subscribe now and press the bell icon to get all the updates. Recently I started a live show called Musings with Software Engineers. This show happens every Thursday at 9:05 p.m. The best part about this show is that people from the IT industry come and ask me questions. This question, what is the current status of IT industry in India, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic, was asked to me on this show by an enthusiastic young engineer. So on the show I answered this question briefly, but today I am coming to you with more details. That is the whole idea of this channel, Musings with Amit, where I share my ideas, insight, tools and tactics with you related to this industry. But before we begin, tell me in the comments, what do you think about this question? Do you think the IT industry is growing in India, or the other way around? Is the IT industry stagnating, or worse, it is shrinking in India? Let me know in the comments. I read every comment and I'll be really interested in your views and opinion. So let us begin. To understand the present and the future of the IT industry, you will need to first understand the past of the IT industry in India. And no, I'm not talking about 1967 when the first IT company, Tata Consultancy Services or TCS, was established in India. I am asking you to go back only to the year 2009. In the year 2009, our IT industry had revenues close to 67.87 billion US dollars. Since then, in the last 10 years, from 2009 to 2019, our IT industry has been growing very steadily. In 2019, this industry had revenues close to 177 billion US dollar. That is 160% growth from 2009 figures. So the IT industry has grown to become the second largest industry in India after pharmacy industry. Do you know that there are 4.6 million people working in the Indian IT industry? That is more than 46 lakh people. But at the beginning of the year 2020, the COVID pandemic struck and the entire world, including India, went into a lockdown. In my 46 years experience, I have not experienced any such thing. I am sure you must not have experienced any such thing. This entire COVID saga was frustrating, depressing, and most difficult phase for each and every person in the world, including you and me. Do you know that the real estate industry that was already facing the heat of demonetization and GST is badly hit after COVID 19? The FMCG industry was hit because of the closure of all the malls and retail stores. The transport industry came to a standstill because of the lockdown. The travel and the hospitality industry stopped entertaining people. So almost every industry you can think of in India and the world were hit because of COVID-19 pandemic of 2020. But two industries survived. Not only did they survive, but they are doing better than the pre-COVID status. The pharmacy industry has emerged as the number one industry after COVID, and at the number two is the IT industry. You can very well understand why pharmacy is at a number one because of the race of the vaccine and the increased requirement of medicines and healthcare. This industry had to boom. But the IT industry is the number two, and the main reason is that it is the backbone of all the other industries. Today, there is not a single company that can survive without the IT industry. And the best part is that IT industry could easily start working from home and servicing its clients even in the state of a lockdown. I have an entrepreneur friend in Pune. He runs a small software development company with about 150 people team. He told me that they got busy after the pandemic. His company provides services to the healthcare companies in the US and Europe. Naturally, he has more work to do. More work means more money. More work means more growth. He told me, Amit, we are hiring in this pandemic because we are having more work and less capacity. Luckily, his company had the vision to give every employee a laptop instead of a desktop. And even before the pandemic, because of this wise decision, they never faced the challenges of the lockdown. It is like they went home when the lockdown was announced and then they kept working from home. But I will not go just by this report from my friend. We will look at what the news has for us about the IT industry. Believe me, business news is somewhat better because they are based on numbers and not just hearsay. So, in the Economic Times of India, there was an article recently with this heading. The heading says, Blowout earning spurs biggest upgrades for Indian tech since 2013. I know this looks like a hype and a loud declaration, but we will go into the details of this report to understand the meaning of this headline. Well, we will look into this report and see if we can find out what is the current situation of the IT industry, where is this industry headed in the future. Look at this image and look at what the caption says. India's $181 billion tech industry is benefiting from the rising demand for digital services on the backdrop of COVID-19 pandemic. Now let us look into the important analysis from the report. This report is done by Ishika Mukherjee and I will read the report here for you. With India's biggest technology companies joining their global peers in topping earnings forecast, analysts are turning extremely bullish on the sector's outlook. Sector's outlook means we are talking about the IT industry here. 12-month forward earning estimates for the 50-member BSE Information Technology Index have climbed 4.6% in July, the most since October 2013, according to calculations by Bloomberg. That's after first quarter net income of four of the nation's five largest IT firms beat even most optimistic analyst estimate. The last line simply means that five largest IT firms in India have more orders than they had before COVID. This means the IT industry grew in the pandemic instead of slowing down. Let us look at the report further. India's $181 billion tech industry is benefiting from rising demand for digital services as the coronavirus pandemic hastens the global shift towards automation, with analysts citing strong deal pipelines, upbeat management guidance, and cost-cutting measures as reasons to be bullish. And I had made a video on the 22 streams of highest paying jobs in IT. You will see in that video I talk about digital services and automation, which is growing very fast. You can watch that video after you watch this video and I will link this video at the end. So continuing with the report, stocks in this sector, particularly Infosys Limited and Wipro Limited, have also witnessed a raft of rating upgrades this month. We expect the IT sector's relative earnings outperformance to sustain for the next of 2021 fiscal year. Gautam Dugad, head of research at Motilal Oswal Securities in Mumbai, wrote in a recent note. The sector is trading at a reasonable valuation given its free cash flow, return ratios, and payout metrics, he added. July's rise in the earning estimate for tech industry gauge has come even as the forecast for benchmark BSE Sensex index have been little changed. Given that and the global investor frenzy surrounding tech stock, it isn't surprising to see that BSE IT index is among the best performing sectorial gauges in India this year. The measure has surged more than 20% this month compared with a 9.2% advance in the Sensex. Can you see when the rest of the industries have grown at 9.2%, the IT industry is growing at a rate of 20% this year. Finally, the report says IT offers relative earning comfort coupled with solid balance sheets, cash flows, return on equity, and payout metric in such a current volatile and disruptive times, Duggad said. So, what do you understand from this report about the status of the IT industry? Do you get the idea about the current status of IT industry in India? See, we saw that in 2019 the IT industry was at a revenue of 177 US billion dollars. Based on the earnings of July 2020, the first quarter of the financial year in India, the IT industry is already growing to 181 US billion dollars, and we still have two financial quarters ahead of us. Also, one thing mentioned in the report is very important. If you are working in the IT industry or aspiring to join the IT industry, it is this long sentence, and I will read it again out here. India's $181 billion tech industry is benefiting from rising demand from digital services as the coronavirus pandemic hastens the global shift towards automation, with analysts citing strong deal pipelines, upbeat management, guidance, and cost cutting measures as reasons to be bullish. Now, this statement is very important indicator that this industry is growing and it will keep growing in the near future. In fact, the pandemic might have helped the IT industry because now every industry will think about how they can use IT services to become pandemic proof. So, all those who are watching this video and are worried about the status of the IT industry after the pandemic, well, this industry has not only survived the pandemic, but now the industry is coming out of the survival mode and it is on a growth trajectory. But what is the benefit of this growth trajectory to someone like you who's working in the IT industry? Well, that depends on how well you position yourself within the industry to take advantage of this growth. Always remember one thing, the growth in your industry means that now you have more opportunities within the industry. It just depends on whether you can see these opportunities and use them for your career growth. But if you don't know how to leverage these opportunities, if you don't know how to make these opportunities work for you, then no matter how good is your industry, it is not going to help you. So always remember that first you have to become a part of the industry. Then you have to understand the system within your industry. Next, you have to make that system work for you. And finally, you will be able to grow within your industry at a very fast pace. So if you want to take the advantage of your position in the IT industry, then let me know in the comments and I will share a video on invisible positioning within your industry. If you watch that video, You will learn more about how to grow your career at 2 times to 4 times the speed by leveraging all the opportunities in front of you. But you will only get that video when you ask for it in the comments. So coming back to our question, what is the current status of IT industry in India, especially after COVID-19 pandemic? The status of IT industry in India is good and growing. It is the number two industry at present, which means that it has the capacity to hire more people, give more jobs, and grow, give more salaries. Now it is entirely on you how you position yourself so that you can benefit within this IT industry. So I hope that I have been able to put all your doubts at rest, and I talked about the 22 streams of high paying jobs in the software industry. You can watch this video and find more opportunities, and before you go, subscribe to this channel so that you can get all the updates. Thank you, stay focused, stay rich, and see you in the next video with another question.